if there's going to be another Scottish independence vote, surely all of the UK should be able to participate. Well, let's talk to our own resident Scotsman, shall we? Is he Scottish? Jonathan, yeah, he isn't it? Got a Welsh name. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Jonathan Davis, the Economist Wealth Manager, host of Booms and Bust podcast, the best financial programme anywhere on the radio, joins us now. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, John. It's Davis without an E. It's the proper spelling.
Oh, and is that the Scottish spelling?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What about wee Jimmy Cranky? Let's just talk about that for a minute. She wants another referendum. What do you think?
Well, someone tweeted a few nights ago a picture of Sturgeon and Jimmy Cranky together. So I tweeted back saying one's a mad comedian and the other one's Jimmy Cranky. I doubt very much, actually, that she will go for a soon second referendum. I think your man said it quite rightly there, that the finances just don't stack up. The oil price, it's what, $45, $48 a barrel.
Yeah.
That referendum they had in 2014 was when oil was $100 a barrel. The numbers just don't stack up right now, and I'd be very surprised actually if the Scots people, the Scots were taken in as they were last time, particularly if the UK is leaving. Oh my God, it's a dream come true. If the UK is leaving the EU, of course, is going to fall apart. Why would anyone want to join it?
Well, why would anyone want to join it? And as we're already hearing now, the Netherlands, Denmark and France are now thinking of moving away. We'll go on to the actual finance situation in a moment. Let's speak about David Cameron resigning. Right decision in your opinion?
Totally the right decision. He put, in effect, he put his job on the line. He did a massive gamble for whatever his personal and professional reasons. And the people effectively booted him out. He had absolutely no credibility as soon as it was announced that Leave had won. And as it happens, for about the first time, he's made the right decision.
Okay, so then what about his mate next door then?
Well, yeah,
George Gideon Osborne, what do you think of him?
Yeah, well, all the Cameron cronies will be gone or severely demoted. When whoever takes over.
I know on Twitter you're suggesting you want Gove rather than Boris, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely, no question.
Tell me why.
Gove is the true successor to dear Margaret, and look how amazing she was for Britain, our economy, our society, and our standing in the world. I know some people hate her to the core, while they drive their BMWs and shop in Waitrose. But the fact is, the UK had the greatest economic growth, the greatest political standing in 30 or 40 years, whilst Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister.
Okay.
These are the facts. She was instrumental in ending the evil empire. What more do you need to say?
What do we do now then? The pound's sinking. We've got a problem with stocks and shares. If I believe them, MSM, because that's what they're loving the fact that Cameron's gone, because they can talk about that. They don't have to talk about the wonderful victory last night. Now they've got another diversion, which of course a coup with Corbyn, and the final diversion is the state of the markets. What is happening in the markets, and how much is it to do with Brexit? Jonathan Davis.
Yeah. You know, one of the market's oldest adages is buy the rumour, sell the news. The markets, of course, were volatile overnight. The markets are always volatile. They were particularly volatile overnight. This month's news is Brexit. There's always news that gives the pundits, the talking heads, a rationale for why this or that has happened in the markets. The reason why shares have fallen and the pound has fallen is not because of Brexit. It's because the markets were almost entirely invested in that direction They were, as we say, they were long the pound, they were long the stock market, which means everyone was invested in that way. So when, the news came out that it was different to what they expected, this was a catalyst for those who were massively long. They had to get out, and this has created a bigger move than would normally be expected. So as I say, when the markets are so heavily one-sided, it's amazing how often they go the other way. But this is the point, John. The pound, for example, has been trending down for 2 years or 9 years, depending on your point of view, for 100 years, depending on your point of view. The pound, last night, I'll tell you one thing the pound did do. The pound broke an important support line which has lasted for 25 years. The pound has been threatening to crash through the floor for ages, and it's nothing to do with Brexit. It's because Gideon Osborne, that socialist, has been presiding over the largest twin deficits in the developed world throughout the time he's been Chancellor. That's the reason why the pound is crashing, but they're using Brexit as the particular reason. It's not the reason, it's the excuse. What's going to happen is what has been happening already, as I have been explaining week after week on the Booms and Bust show, that we are now over the economic peak. Since the expansion 2009 to 2015, the peak was, and it will likely be seen as, over a year ago, spring 2015, and the markets have been trending down since then, and government bonds have been trending up. So what will happen is what has been happening. The pound will fall, the euro will fall, the dollar will rise. This is deflationary. Government bonds will rise, and stock market will fall. We are in a crash period. Rudiger Dornbusch, to say one last thing, let me just get the quote up. He's an economist. In economics, things take longer to happen than you think they will, and then they happen faster than you thought they could. And that's what's happening.
Interesting stuff. Go and get yourself some sleep. Good talking to you,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Jonathan Davis, Economist Wealth Manager. He also has his brilliant live show every Monday, 2 till 3. Booms and Bust here on the Talk to Me radio platform. And